into the prayers. If you are generously comfortable to listen to more debates, fantastic. But we keep repeating ourselves about the pains of lying, about the pains of economizing lies and truth. So we should go into the prayers. I so advise, Mr. Senate President, and my very distinguished colleagues, let's go into the prayers, and so that we can go. It's already 2:24. Are we going to sleep here? Let's go into the prayers and do additional prayers and move on.
Mike, the Chief Whip of the Senate.
Distinguished colleagues, I am Mohammed Ali Ndume, representing Borno South. I have listened. Most of us have spoken. I don't need to remind us that we are senators. I don't need to also remind us that we are here as brothers and member of the highest body, that's the Senate. We are here having in mind also that we can disagree, but to agree. In fact, it is common in legislation to even go to the extreme, throwing chairs because tempers rise. But when it comes to the totality of the image of the Senate, we should be careful. It is not about Ningi now only. If we are talking about Ningi in this room, but it is about all of us outside. This thing has happened. It has happened. And Ningi was wrong. It was wrong. In the first instance, if you all remember, this thing reared its heads before. When after presentation of the budget, there were allegations from the north that it was skewed in favor of the south. And a figure was even posted on our platform, the Northern Senators Forum, by Wadada, and I spoke to him this morning. The total capital in there was 8.9 or thereabout, but the total of the said skewedness totaled to 15 trillion. And I told them, from the word go, this thing is wrong. So it died down. When we engaged the senators, the consultant, it was agreed by the Northern Senators, quite okay. And after that, Kau and Ningi approached me and told me that there are certain things in the budget that were not right. I said, bring it. They said, no, they are going to talk to Senate President, and I should be there. I said, no. If you are sure that the North has been so changed, put the figures down and let's go public. But that was not there. Wait. When you are speaking, I did not interfere. It's so simple now. My chairman wanted to go out yesterday. My chairman wanted to go out yesterday. He called me. We are doing a press conference. I said, on what? He said, on this budget. I said, did you get the details that they are talking about? You said, no. I begged you not to talk. That we are coming here today, get ready with your papers and put it before our colleagues. He did a wonderful job by even tracing where the so-called 3 trillion has gone. What I'm expecting from us, please, is to move forward. And how do we move forward? I told Ningi in here that he made a mistake, that he should stand up and apologize to us first, then apologize that, look, this even figure that I'm looking for 3 trillion is here. I'm sorry for the embarrassment I've caused. That is what I'm suggesting. Please, distinguished colleagues, some of us, or majority of us are here new, as we said. We are not new. Okay. Yeah, it's not new because you are 10 months old or more. All I'm saying, look, if I don't forget that I'm the chief whip, I'll carry whip now. Okay. Why are you not smiling now? I know this is a serious matter, but we have gotten to it. Had it been what Ningi said, it's not even traceable. But it's clear here that the 3 trillion, if you add it up, is there, and you put it by 25, it gives us the figure. So let us go and tell everybody that, look, 3 trillion is not missing. And Ningi should apologize. Ningi has agreed to apologize. I approached you, and I said, Ningi will apologize. You said, if he apologizes, he's ready to apologize.
Distinguished colleagues, leader, you end the debate because please, there's no need for us to talk further. Let us just hear from my brother Adams Oshumole, then leader will speak.
Mr. Senate President and my colleague senators, I have listened attentively. My name is Adams Aliu Oshomole. I represent the great people of Edo North in Edo State. And the only thing that I used to campaign to get to this house is my name, my pedigree, and my integrity. Some may have gotten here because they had resources. I got here because I had made a name. I came here hoping to build on that name, not to diminish it, not to distort it, and not to do anything that would be unexpected of somebody of my background. Number 2, sir, I am a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I am not a senator of the North, nor am I a senator of the South. I am a Nigeria senator. These rules we agreed on in the first 2-3 sittings, that we will operate irrespective of accident or birthplace, and even the factor of religion or any of those primordial sentiments. Because that is the only way as senior as a privileged Nigerians who sit on this Senate. I don't know anyone here who started this work on the floor of this Senate. We all have our various backgrounds, which our people must have seen and found us worthy of being elected. I want to plead that we must recognize we have a duty to uphold the finest standard of a legislature and defend the integrity of each and every one of us. As I listen to your prayers every day, Mr. Senate President, we talk about showing love to one another, doing those things that will promote the peace, happiness, and unity of our great country. And yet, I am here wondering whether we have exactly come here to do everything that will promote hatred, everything that will promote division, everything that will remind me of my accident or bad play for which I had no vote, I had no contribution. That was the exclusive decision of the God Almighty. It should neither be used to favor me, nor should it be used to disfavor me. So I ask, sir, that after listening to everything, my plea is this. We've already been stripped naked in the market. And closing the door or opening the windows, we cannot now wrap it as if it has not been seen. The minimum requirement is for my brother, who I respect very much on account of being vocal. I like vocal people. He has energy. I don't have enough energy. But I have seen him make very valuable contributions in the past on the floor of the Senate. And I think he can still remedy that, having agreed that some things went wrong. Because the question you have put, Mr. President, is how much, what was the figure in the bill, in the appropriation bill that was approved? And somebody answered 28 trillion. Therefore, any suggestion that it was 25 is simply a lie. The problem of trying to defend one lie is that you have to speak to more lies in order to protect and defend one lie. I think will be Senator Ningi, who I respect a lot, has a duty even to his own children, that he will not be the man who will be reported in the front pages of newspapers and electronic media all over the world and say something that he found out is not true. There is nothing wrong in making a mistake, but it becomes a problem when you are not able to find the courage to own up to your mistake. Particularly when in terms of balance of interest, you rather clean up what is dirty than to pretend that it is clean. So I want to plead to each and every one of us that let's allow Ningi, having now read everything, and even my comrade Senator Kau, who posted something, he said it was for northern governors, even northern senators. Even he knows that northern senators deserve to be told the truth. Northern senators did not form association for the spreading of falsehood. It is meant to promote the unity of the North and justice and fairness, which can only be founded on the basis of facts and truth. So if all of these errors have taken place and all of us have become suspect in the Nigerian bar of public opinion, the way to go, in my view, is for both of them to recount what they have said, and to say that they didn't say so, or if they said so, that they made a mistake of the head, not of the heart, and ask that they be forgiven, because it is already in the market. You can't pretend it never happened. I associate myself completely with the very, very valuable and articulate presentation of Senator Sani, I believe, of Niger State, and several other very valuable contributions. But let us remember, each time we try to destroy any one of us, we are destroying all of us. Because if one lacks integrity, and we are found to associate with anyone who lacks integrity, they say it is birds of the same feathers that flock together. May that not be our portion. Mr. President, this matter needs to be treated in a manner that will restore the confidence of the Nigerian people in the institution of the National Assembly. Thank you, Mr. President.
Distinguished Senator Karimi.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you for your distinguished service to the nation. My colleagues, what is important here is our integrity as a whole. What has been established here is the fact that the so-called 3 trillion pardon is a lie. 2, the appropriation made this year, where those items on statutory transfers were not included, is not different from what has been happening for years. That is the standard that will make our budget. So all the information that is being passed around was misinformation by Senator Ningi and Senator Kau. So we have to establish that one before we can move forward, and they have to own up to their mistakes.
The Swing Senator Oba.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm Senator Ifeanyi Oba. President, what we are battling with is the soul of this Senate. And I think it's very, very important. We have had different colleagues pleading that we should, that they have considered to apologize. But even in that apology, Mr. President, I believe after meeting you during the last meeting you had with them, they would have come to you in agreement of what you had reached with them, present their facts before you before going to the press. I think there should be, we will need to look at the prayers, because if we continue to go to the press and try to create ethnic sentiments in this country, it will continue. With this Senate will never be won. So I think we should go to the prayers, Mr. President, so that we don't overlook this issue. Let's go to the prayers, Mr. President.
Senator Akwashiki, after that, the leader, then we close.
Mr. Chairman, my very distinguished colleagues, I remain Senator Akwashiki Godia, representing Nasarawa North Central District. Mr. Chairman, I think to some extent, we don't need to waste time on this issue. Yes, I've agreed. A lot of things went wrong. Even that meeting that you made in Northern Senators, I was not there. And God knows here in this place, I have the chairman of the Northern Governors, Northern Senators. I said you had a meeting with the President of the Senate yesterday. I was not invited. And he apologized to me that next time you're going to be invited. And you see, let me correct something here. That most of us, including both Kawu and Ningi, they are ranking parliaments. They came through the House of Reps. Parliamentarian, yes. It's my Kawu said he was not the person that constructed that statement. I agree with him in totality. But I read the statement in the platform of the Northern Senators. And to some extent, knowing fully when you go through the text or the statement, you won't know whether it is not constructed by Senator Kawu or not. Because he will have posted it with a caveat to us, the Northern Senators, that be aware or be informed, this is not from me. It's the handwork of mischief makers. One, because I was going through it and I deliberately refused to say anything on this issue because I didn't know what is happening and I was not part of that meeting with you. One, on that issue, because he is a leader. Two, Mr. Chairman, sir, a lot of people have spoken. Even though the Chief Whip has said that he has spoken on personal ground with Senator Ningi. And he also spoke to Kawu. No. Okay, you have not spoken to Ningi. Ningi is the chief actor of what we are discussing today. Ningi wanted to open some close again on the issue, but we should allow him, give him a time to speak again instead of going forward and coming backward. He is sitting here in the plenary with us. Mr. Chairman, sir, why I am saying this, because Ningi also, he has not denied the issue that you are in agreement for him to submit whatever he has to you as a leader, so that you should look into it and take an appropriate decision. Because he has not done that, that is why we have found ourselves where we are today. What is the next thing? The next thing is to give him, even if just 2 minutes to speak, and our leader, the minority leader of this Senate, who is Abba Moro. Abba Moro is our leader of all of us that are sitting here. He has spoken on behalf of us. He requests for one thing, that we should give them time to speak. Abamora has spoken, and since he sat down, and I can see the mood of even our colleagues, when he spoke on behalf of us, I think Mr. Chairman gave them the opportunity in line with the request of the minority leader, our leader. Even though somebody said, have asked one of them that they didn't, we voted them. Like me, I'm a ranking senator, I signed for them. So they are our leaders. He has spoken on behalf of us. Please, Mr. Chairman, for us to move forward, we were almost 3 the whole day. Give them the opportunity to speak to us again. Even if it means a motion, on top of motion, because we are wasting our time, please. Let them speak. They are sitting on the plenary here. And you can see our brother, Senator Ningi, he has always been quiet for the past 1 hour. Let's hear from him, Mr. Chairman, so that this matter, it is, somebody say it's Ningi today. It can be another person tomorrow, please, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Let me say that we have succeeded. If you look at the number of hands up, there are no longer many. So I think we have exhausted the issues, and we have done well. My personal opinion is, who is the secretary of the Northern Senators Forum? Sadiq, I have not heard your voice, because if your forum is used to posting things that will incite senators inside Nigeria, no, you are not the only one that has access to that forum. Even non-senators read what you post. And you can see Premium Times quoted you copiously from what they saw there. And many of them, some of them are saying Akpabio in the war scandal, Tinubu operating 2 budgets, all sorts of things, and it's from there. So, and then Senator Ndume has also pointed out that that is not even the first time. That there was a time that Senator Wadada said the North has been cheated, and then pointed out a budget of 8.9 trillion, or is it billion? Trillion, and said that out of 8.9 trillion, out of 15 trillion, that yes, that out of
I said this, distinguished colleagues, you remember, in a closed session here last time when the budget was brought, and there was this also figures flying around that North has been so changed. Out of the 15 trillion capital, only 2 point something was for the North. So it was posted on our platform equally, just for information. And I called our dad at that time, and I said, do the arithmetic. You will discover that the budget submitted by Mr. President has 8.9 trillion as the total capital. And then you say now that 15 trillion is in the capital. How does it add up? That was why Wadada pulled down that posting, and the matter died down. So this one too should be buried like that.
Sadiq, maybe you will just say something until the next post, because the other one was 15 trillion. Senator Wadada was 15 trillion, and quickly Senator Ndume corrected him that only 8 trillion was actually capital, not 15 trillion. And he pulled it down. So otherwise, it would have been reposted and reposted and reposted, and it will get into the ears of the market people in the North. And they will think that they are being cheated. Now, as secretary of the forum, maybe you are not the administrator of that thing. What is your take on all these discussions?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, Mr. President, sitting as chair. Let me make some categorical statements so that to put the record straight. The Northern Senators Forum is just basically an interest group. And in political system, everybody forms a forum with specific interest group. That interest group is not supposed to be purely political. It has economic perspective, it has cultural perspective. Mr. President, recall that when we visited you in the guest house, after I gave my vote of thanks, I categorically told you that as a scientist, I know how data can be interpreted vertically, horizontally, diagonally, based on the inference or interest of the researcher. That interpretation too can be influenced by availability, completeness or incompleteness of data. And I recommended that you get a contractor, like you said you wanted to get, a consultant. I told you that you need to get a consultant to look at this properly when it is given to you. Mr. President, for the records, because we are saying Northern Senator, I am the Secretary of Northern Senators. This data and this information, I am not privy to it, just like almost all Northern Senators. And I think Senator Ningi was clear about that, both in your presence and even in this floor. He has not pretended about that we don't know what is the issues here. And to me, we said, Mr. President, let's get this information, clarify it before we embarrass the Senate, the National Assembly, or the country. Mr. President, Senator Kau said something and it's important. It seems we missed it. There was a mix-up. He is saying that that interview granted by Senator Ningi invariably came even before this process started. Okay, no, he said that. No, okay, fine. It's not true. Okay, fine. Mr. President, my point clearly is that, Chief Whip, can you please control the floor for us, please? Mr. President, our position is very clear in the forum that the data, that information is not available for us yet to be able to take any position. Mr. President, the interview granted by Ningi, Senator Ningi, is his personal opinion. I just want to make that clear here. It's not the position of Northern Senators. Lastly, Mr. President, to me, as a citizen of this country and as a Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, what is important to me in all of this rancor is to clarify and come out transparently and strongly, particularly this being led by those who allege that the budget the National Assembly passed is 28.7 trillion and not 25 trillion, so that the whole world, the whole country will see clearly that there is an error somewhere. It's as a result of lack of enough data available to those who are analyzing that situation has been made. Mr. President, lastly, why I was worried about this is I know that people will think Nigeria is a weak country. Nigeria is a strong country. We say our institutions are weak. Our institutions are not as weak as a budget will be passed and we'll be operating a different budget. Nigeria is too strong. Nigeria is too strong for that. And it's very important the whole world knows that that is not going to be possible in this country. Thank you very much.
Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, sitting as chair, very distinguished senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Mr. Chairman, for the very first time, I stand up to speak, not as the leader of the 10th Senate, but as Senator Michael Okpeyemi Bamidele, CON, representing the people of Ekiti Central Senatorial District. 4 quick issues to raise. Number one, I stand with due respect to say that what my big brother, distinguished Senator Abdul Ningi, who I respect so well, planned to do or set out to do was tantamount to a civilian coup, which has failed. And in doing this, he wanted to use the platform of Northern Senators Forum. God bless all those who have dissociated themselves as members of Northern Senators Forum. Number 2,
pay glowing tribute to His Excellency Senator Tambua, Aminu Waziri Tambua, and to His Excellency Senator Ahmad Lawa. Why am I doing this? They had very peaceful tenure, and I was one of those instrumental. I'm also speaking as a Southerner for the first time. The attempt to take the election of the leadership of this Senate beyond June 13, 2023 must stop. 60-something senators voted for Godswill Akpabio. 40-something senators voted against Godwin Akpabio. The will of the majority. Every day, there have been a few, just a few. And that's one of the reasons I will pay tribute to Senator Tambua. He didn't pretend about where he stood. But after that, some of them got up on the floor of this Senate and said, election is over. Let's work together as senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. A few have refused to do this. And that's why it's always about Akpabio, never about the Senate, never about the House of Reps, never about the Office of DG Budget. All of us pass this budget. Never about Mr. President who signed this budget. It's always about Akpabio. We have a momentum. This is a defining moment for all of us to say, if we are going to have a stable Senate, let us have one. It is not about North and South. It's about our rules. It's about the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It's about our people who are hungry and deprived. Mr. President, sitting as chair, make no mistake about it. A few people who fear they will not give you more than 1 year to spend in this chair want to do everything possible before the 13th of June to remove you. And I am telling you, Mr. President and distinguished colleagues, distinguished colleagues, and that's why I say I'm speaking as Senator Michael Okpeyemi Bamidele, not as the Senate leader. As the Senate leader, I've always done everything possible to stabilize this Senate. I'm speaking, I'm exercising my own privilege as a senator. Now I am telling you, sir. I am telling you, sir. And I want Nigerians to know, I say it for history. The last time the people of South that you represent had a chance to be Senate President was over 40 years ago. The last time the entire people of the South had a chance to be Senate President was during Obasanjo regime, when he went to the Southeast. 5 people were elected because they were impeached in quick succession. But as soon as he left the South, we had peace and stability again because we will always cooperate. Spent 8 years. Senator Ahmad Lawa spent 4 years. Peaceful 4 years. Saraki, even with all he did, spent 4 years. He was not impeached. It is about Akpabio. It is about the South. You can now understand why Senator Ningi, we want to use the name of Northern Senators Forum, even when most of them did not agree to this. Mr. President, I plead with you. This is an opportunity for us to follow our rules. If tomorrow the wisdom of the elders of this Senate prevail and they feel we should do otherwise, let's lock ourselves up in a closed-door session and take another decision and go back to the world and reconsider ourselves on whatever decision we take today. I beg all of you, we must do the right thing today. We did not start this fight. Senator Ningi took this to the public domain, standing up to apologize here. Even after he repeated that some people got 100 billion from this budget, some people got 60 billion. Haba, what apology are you expecting? Let us do the right thing, and I am saying it as part of the leadership of this Senate. I am not bothered. I was going through online, just as this is going on, it's trending now, that every senator got 500 million. My appeal to Nigerians is not about what was said there today, because I'm not going to deny that. But we have 12 months to implement 2024 budget. Let every Nigerian wait to see whether there's any of these senators
who will not bring enough boreholes, enough solar street lights, enough road construction, and other projects, training and empowerment that will be up to 500 million naira. That is it. I am not protesting. If I got anything here, it is not money put in my pocket. They are constituency projects given to my constituency. And I'm not apologetic about it. Mr. President, please let us go into the prayers and do the right thing.
Prayer 1. Distinguished colleagues, Prayer 1. Pursuant to Order 1B of the Senate Standing Order 2023 as amended, allow immediate deliberations of this matter and take appropriate action deemed fit in the overriding public interest and as a matter of urgent public importance to prevent breakdown of law and order. I think this has been taken. Those in support of Prayer 1 say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. That has been taken. Prayer 2. Take further necessary steps to correct the wrong impression in public domain of the 2024 budget created by the BBC interview and other national media houses and social media platforms by Senator Abdul Ningi and amplified by Senator Suleiman Abdulrahman Kawu through his post on Northern Senators Forum, his Facebook account, and other social media platforms. Those in support of Prayer 2 say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 3. Take any further decision as the Senate deems fit and proper to safeguard the integrity of the 2024 budget, which is pivotal to the revamping of the Nigerian economy. Yes, Senator Jimo.
President, my distinguished colleague, I have an additional prayer to add at its appropriate time since we are now praying. The last one. Okay, I could allow the last one to go before I allow the Senate President to rule, please. Yeah. Yes. Yes, sir. I stand by that.
Okay. So that's prayer 3. Those in support say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Yes, Senator Jimo, you can now come with your additional prayer.
Distinguished colleagues, my additional prayer after we're trying to distill all our discussions in these hello chambers into this additional prayer by way of sanction. Suspend Senator Abu Ningi and suspend Senator Abu Ningi for an initial period of 12 months. 12 months, yes, including his entitlement and privilege as Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria of the 10th Senate, and made him to stay away from the National Assembly for the suspended period. 2. The Senate should send a warning letter to Senator Suleiman Abdulrahman Kawu, and this should be warned to stop posting, inciting informations that are not right, and then he should tender apology. He should stop posting all those informations with a way of distorting facts. Mr. Senate President, I so move on these 2 additional prayers because we cannot. I have the floor, please. I have the floor. It's these 2 important prayers are very important because we have to look at our rules. There are issues of ethics procedures and as well as what we have been discussing since morning. So for purpose of clarity, Mr. Senate President, my first prayer is that the Senate should suspend Senator Abu Ningi for an initial period of 12 months. Suspend his entitlement and privileges as Senator of the 10th Assembly or 10th Senate, make him stay away from the National Assembly during the period of suspension. Secondly, the Senate or this Senate should send a note of warning to Senator Suleiman Abdurrahman Kau and make him to apologize for posting inciting statements about the Appropriation Act in his Facebook. These are my additional prayers. I so move, Mr. Senator. I so move, Mr. Senator.
Point of order.
The distinguished Senator Jimo Ibrahim has moved a motion that in view of the foregone, all the discussions we have had here in the Senate and the events, the public outlook, that the distinguished Senator Abdul Ningi should be suspended for a period of 12 months, and I would like to, Senator Davinone.
Thank you, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I rise to second the motion raised by distinguished Senator Jimo Ibrahim.
Order! You go ahead and second the motion.
The motion can be amended, but let it be read. Mr. President, I require your protection, sir. Mr. President, distinguished. My campaign was. President, somebody keeps. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I rise to say. Mr. President, somebody keeps stripping it. I rise to second. Suspension. Abdul Ningi, and for a warning to be given to distinguished Senator Kau. And I do so, sir, with the full recognition that despite the ample opportunities to provide evidence to this House, no single shred of evidence has been provided. And on the back also, sir, of the opportunities to apologize to this House, given the gravity of the allegations made, we are yet to receive a single apology from either of the gentlemen. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, we have a motion on the floor. We have a motion on the floor which shall be seconded. Is there any amendment? Is there any amendment? Is there any amendment? Distinguished Senator Manguru, amendment. Distinguished Senator Manguru wants to amend the motion.
Yes, distinguished Mr. President of the Senate, Mr. President of the Senate, Mr. President of the Senate, distinguished senators, in my amendment, I want to invoke Order 95, Rule 4C.
In my amendment, I want to invoke Order 95, Rule 4C. And Order 95, Rule 4C unequivocally states that the powers of the Committee on Petition, Ethics and Privileges of the Senate is to investigate misconduct of senators where there is alleged misconduct of senators where there is. So I want to invoke Order 95 Rule 4C for it to be referred to the Ethics and Privileges Committee for investigation and report to the Senate.
Okay, no, yeah, please, dismiss Senator. If I think you have spoken before. Senator Asukwa, you have not said anything. You are raising your hand. Is it for amendment of the prayer? Yes, Asukwa.
The microphone. Good afternoon, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues. My name is Senator Asukwa Ekpeyon, Senator representing Cross River South. I would like to amend the prayer as moved by Senator Jimo Ibrahim. I amend that the suspension period be reduced to 6 months. I so move.
Any seconder? Yes, Senator Mbeki.
Thank you, Mr. President. I remain Mpigi Barinata. I represent the people of River South East Senatorial District. Mr. President, I support wholeheartedly the amendment as duly moved by Senator Ekpeyon that the suspension period be reduced to 6 months. I so second.
Further amendment.
Mr. President, distinguished colleague, Buhari Abdul Fattah Oyonot. Mr. President, my amendment is we should be cautious and reduce whatever punitive measure we are going to take. Let's learn from it. There's this popular Yoruba adage, when an elder falls, you look at the back, what falls, and when a child falls, you look at the front. And I'm just amending that even we should allow Senator Ningi and Senator Kawu to even say that, sorry, let's give them that privilege. When we give them that privilege, and the Senate now decided, to even take a punitive measure, we can reduce it to 3 months, which is okay, so that other people can learn from it, so that to serve as a detriment. 3 months. 3 months. But for us to say 6 months, 1 year, no, let's forget, they are representing a senatorial. People are watching them. So 3 months. 3 months.
Yes. Distinguished Senator Garuba.
Mike. Thank you, Mr. President. No, it's me. No, it's me. It's me. It's me. Go ahead now. Him or me? Please sit down. Please sit down. It's me.
Thank you. The Senate President sitting in as chair. My name is Garba Musa Maidoki. It's on. My name is Garba Musa Maidoki, representing Kebbi South Senatorial District, sir. Mr. President, having heard that most of what was said was erroneously transcribed to the press without following the agreed position with the Senate President so that report can be given to them, my amended prayer is the suspension of Mr. Senator Ningi. My prayer is the suspension of Senator Ningi for 3 months, but if he writes an apology to the Senate the following day, he should be recalled. That is my prayer, sir.
Any seconder? Chief Whip, this is you are talking too much. You are talking too much. Sorry, Musa.
Mr. President, sitting as the chair, my respected colleagues, my name is Mohammed Sani Musa, representing Niger East Senatorial District. I stand to second the amendment as proposed by Senator Maidoki that instead of suspending Senator Ningi to 12 months or 6 months, we should give him 3 months and also allow him to apologize to this Senate and put it in writing as well. And if he does that and we consider that there is a remorse, this Senate have every right to call him back as soon as we feel them. So I so moved. I so second. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, I'm aware of the standing order 66 sub 4 that talks about 14 legislative days if a misdemeanor is committed in the Senate, not in BBC. So I'm just trying to say that I'm mindful of the rules of the Senate. Distinguished colleagues, the motion has been moved that in view of the grievous offense of Senator Ningi, that he be suspended. Those in support of 1 year suspension. Okay. Distinguished colleagues, the motion has been moved by an amendment has been offered by distinguished Senator Maidoki and seconded by distinguished Senator Sani Musa, that he be suspended for only 3 months from the Senate. Those in support of the suspension for 3 months say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. So distinguished Senator Ningi is hereby suspended for 3 months from all activities connected with the 10th Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Mr. President, sitting as chair, distinguished colleagues, I stand to move that the Senate reverse to plenary to enable the chair report progress. I so move.
Mr. President, sitting as chair, I second the motion that Chairman, the Senate reverse to plenary to enable the chair report progress. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, a motion has been moved and seconded that this Senate do refer to plenary to report progress. Those who are in support of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. Yeah, clarification, yes.
No, one clarification, Mr. President. Senator Jaribi made mention of 500 million. I think we should give him time to specify. No, it's good. Let him explain. Let him explain.
Let me say what